What's going on, everybody? So I just got back from the store getting everything to do that turkey mount with to show y'all what you need to do your own. This is going to be a very long video, but I hope y'all could watch as much as possible, or you could fast forward to the end to see the finished product. But I want to do it step by step to show you exactly how to do it. So I will see y'all here soon. Alright, so I got this. It's a big piece of cardboard. You need that to lay it out on and tack it to get it in place. I got this at Dollar General. Got some borax to treat it, to keep the bugs from getting to it. That also came from Dollar General, along with some thumbtacks to spray the feathers out. Some adhesive glue. All that came from Dollar General. I got this Bondo kit to put on it once you get them clean, all that to help hold them out once it's dried. Got this to put it on the application of the Bondo. You could use anything, you don't have to use this, but I just got this because it was really cheap. Some rough sandpaper to smooth the Bondo out. A wire brush to clean the remaining meat and fat out, which you won't get it all, but you get most of it, the main part that you need out. All that came from O'Reilly's. And then I was showing y'all in my live video earlier, which didn't do as good as I hoped it would do because of the streaming, I guess, but I got this from a Sportsman's Guide. It's the fan mount kit that they sell. This is their oak, and as you can see on the back of it, has 5 slots for 5 beards, and it came with the hanging plate that goes on the back of it. It's kind of a little thinner than I would like for it to be, but I think it'll be fine as long as I get the screws all in the right place. And then here's the screws that it came with. But all in all, other than that, I really like it. I like the look of it. So that's all that you would need to do this with. You could find other ways to do it, but this is the way I'm going to do my second mount, and I will show y'all the first one I did after I get this one done, but I'll be back with y'all. All right, everybody, so I'm here. My turkey fans unthawed out. I'm about to get started on a process, so once I finish setting up things, I'll be right back with y'all. All right, guys, so I'm back here. It's been about an hour that the beard has been sitting in borax. It should be good to go because I had got it really good and clean. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and mount it into the back. I'm going to get some of the adhesive and put in there and get it set and let it set up. And here in probably another 2 hours, I'll be working on the fan part. So I'm going to show y'all this part here. This adhesive here that I has got is 2 parts that goes in it. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Let's see if I can figure out how to open this. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is make sure you get it the way you want it, so you know when it's setting in. So this one kind of curves to the left a little bit. So this is the way I want to set it. So I'm going to use this side here and get some of it put on that and just place it right down in there. I think I'm going to, you can move them up or down. I'm going to move this one probably to about right there. That looks pretty good. So after I got it in there like that, I'm going to take and go back and add a little extra in it. And it also came with this little part here, so I'm going to put this on to get it to go down in there a little bit better. It's going down in there pretty good. And that should be about enough of the epoxy in there. See, I'm going to get something and take and press down on it to make sure it's sealed up good. Now I'm just going to barely press down in it and get it slid the right way. So that should be good and in there. Shouldn't take real long for the setup time, but I'm going to let this get dry, and I will be back with y'all when I get started on the other part. Okay, so here's the beard right here. When you do the beard, I had already done this when I took it off the bird, but you want to be real careful trimming what little bit of meat and fat's on it off, because if you cut too much, you actually cut it and they'll start falling out. So this is what it should look like when you're done with it. So now all I'm going to do is take and put it in a bowl and add some borax on it just to kind of cover it a little bit. That'll help keep the bugs from getting to it. It'll treat it and stuff. The first one I did, I just waited a few hours and it seemed to be treated good enough, so I went ahead and finished it, and it's still on the wall and looks perfectly fine. So I'll probably let this along with the fan of the feathers set for a couple hours and go ahead and get it mounted all up in one day, because that's what I did with the other one and it didn't give me no issues. But so you see I got it down in there in the borax. Gonna let that set for a few hours. Now I'm gonna grab the back here right here and get started on this. This section of feathers here on the very front, you could actually take and remove all these. You don't need these, and it would actually help you get down to the stuff that you need to clean off better by doing this. So this whole section right here that's up in the front, I'm going to take and remove that section, and that really helps. If you get a scalpel knife, it helps you cut in between them and do all that. So I'm going to get to cutting this section out right here. Once you get it, cut it down real good, go around. You have to kind of just work it around a little bit. So that's pretty much where that should go to, and you should be able just to take and pull that section off. Like I said, you don't need that, that's just in the way. And also on the back, there's a section back here that you don't need. Nobody's going to see them. They'll just be in the way like the front ones. So you could take and come in behind here and work around them. You just work it down. And should be able just to pull them off just like that right there, and then that's what your back is going to look like. So now we'll start the process of removing some more of the meat right here on the front. Probably going to have a pair of scissors to help you with this a little bit right up here. It's a little tough to just take and cut this part right off. Get that part. So about right here is where we're at now, on the front and the back. So now we just need to keep removing this meat, being careful not to cut, down into it a whole lot. Just want to work the meat off as much as possible. Now, like I said, you won't get it all off. You just need to try to get the majority of it off. This video is going to be probably longer than some of the ones I've seen. Some guys cut it short on doing them that I've seen, but I like trying to get y'all where y'all can see the actual process. So I don't want to shorten y'all. You don't have to watch the whole video. Y'all could, go through it some. But I want to show you the steps by step all the way, just so you'll know exactly how long it's going to take and everything that goes behind doing this. It's a little bit of work, but it's well worth it. It's cheaper than taking it and having it done somewhere. The main thing is just getting this stuff off. That's what takes the longest. Just making sure you get all that you can off from it, because you definitely want it to be clean as possible. I still got a little bit right in here that I could cut off right in here. There we go. So now I'm going to take and turn it to the back side of it and start working some of it off. So now you have this right here is what it's going to look like. So now what you want to do is take and go in between where the feathers run down and split them in the middle really good. And some more of the meat will come off as you're doing that too. Make sure you try to get all of them separated, because that's going to help you spread them out to pin them and put your Bondo on them. Okay, so you see I got them split it off. Now what you want to do is go get the brush for it. So now take that wire brush I showed you and just come in here and start brushing away, trying to get any extra stuff off from them, any extra fat, meat. You have to sometimes clean your brush out too, because it kind of gets in there, gets in the way. Go ahead and flip it over to the back side. You only need, you could get a bigger brush also to help you along with some of the process of it, but I didn't see a point in buying two different brushes. I think one is good enough. A small one works just fine. You don't really need to get two brushes. Of anything, I would recommend getting two small brushes, but you don't need a real big one. I've seen one guy use a real big one along with a small one, but one is good enough. I'm going to try to get just a little bit more of this off right here. Alright, so that's what it looks like once you scrape it. Get what you can off from it. You're not going to get all of it, but that's good enough. So now the next thing I'm going to do is get a pan to put it in. And you could use whatever you want to set it down in. I'm just going to use this pen, and then take and dump your borax on the front side. You could do front or back first, and I just like taking and patting it in, rub it in real good, and use all you want to of the borax. You could dump the whole box on it if you want to. It's not going to hurt anything. So we'll get this covered real good in the front, flip it over to the back, dump some on the back real good, get it rubbed in on the back. And a lot of times I don't see nobody doing this, but I like what that first one I did, and I'm going to do it with this one, is taking and holding it up and going in between where you split the feathers and kind of rubbing them down in it too. So once I got that done, what I'm going to do is go back and just dump some more on it. And after that, like I said, I'm going to let it set for a few hours, and I will be back with y'all when I get to the next step. Alright everybody, so I'm back. It's been about 3 hours now. I'm going to start taking the feathers in place and give them a good brushing, and then after that I get the Bondo set, so I'm going to go ahead and start that processing. This part here is a little slow and a little aggravating, but I mean, you could rush through it and get it done, but it won't be right. So I'm going to take my time a little bit on this one, so y'all just be patient. I think it's good to take your time on this just to get it looking the way you want to. I mean, like I said, it's definitely cheaper than having somebody to do it for you, but you still want it to be nice as much as possible. At least that's how I look at it, especially if I'm doing it. I mean, might not look really good, but I definitely try to get it as good as I can. Now all I'm doing is just putting them in place for where I think they look the best at. You don't even really have to brush them right now. You could wait until after the Bondo hardens up, and more than likely that might be what I do, just to keep it from moving the pins, because these pins really ain't working that good, because I can't get them to stay in. Every time I make a little move, it wants to pull them out. This piece of cardboard wasn't as thick as what it should have been to work with this, but it'll be alright. It'll work. So I think that's mainly going to hold it in a place to where I want them. I think my spray looks good on it. This one has some a few short ones here on the side, and then long ones up top. but it looks pretty good to me. So I'm gonna get the Bondo mixed up and ready to go, and I will be back with y'all here in a second. Alright guys, so I'm back here with the next step for the Bondo application. I tried not to do a whole lot just because I want it to, be right but not be too much, and mainly try to keep it down right in this area. And if you get it just right, you really don't have to use sandpaper on it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. You don't really need a whole lot. About maybe 2 spoonfuls on it. And then I would go about that much hardener in it, just a little bit. So now I'm going to mix it up real good. Definitely want to make sure you get it really good mixed up. Try to get all the grayish white out of it, and you want it to look pink all the way through if possible, or red. So you want it to pretty much look like this right here. So now I'm going to try to take a little bit and just work it as slow as possible. So just be real careful putting it on. Once you get it on there, then just kind of press down and rub it straight down. Try to get it to work down in between the feathers where you cut all that fat and meat and stuff out of it. The reason you don't want to get it too thick is because when you put it on your plate that you mount it to, is if you have it too thick, then you have to sand it down or it won't lay in there right. So I got that step done. Let it dry. Once that gets dry, I unpin it and flip it over and do the back side. So I will be back with y'all when I'm ready for that point. Alright, so I'm ready to mix up my Bondo again for the back side. Get it mixed in. Now, y'all don't have to pin the feathers again on the back. I can't remember if I said that or not, but they're in the place where they need to be just from the front side. So you're good on that part. So once we got that, now the back you could be a little bit more careless with it if you want to, because you're not going to see the back side at all unless you take it down. So I still want to try to get it, as perfect as you can, and then that way you don't have to do no sanding on it. It'll be flat enough. And all you're doing is just kind of trying to combine the back with the front. And just keep it, try to keep it as smooth as possible. Alright, well, the back's done now. Did want to tell y'all I took some Bondo from the first time and went in behind the turkey beard with that epoxy and added just a little bit of Bondo in there just to make sure it was going to stay good. So y'all could do that also. But when this hardens up, I will be back with y'all to show you the trimming up process of the Bondo. And then we should be pretty much ready to comb them out and get them installed. Alright guys, so I'm back here now to do the trimming up. The back side's hardened up pretty good now. So when doing this, you definitely want to be careful not to cut into the feathers. There shouldn't be a whole lot of trimming as long as you get the Bondo, laid out the way it's supposed to be on there. Let's see. Try to do it this way here. So that was really all the trimming I needed to do on it. So now I'm going to take and move this cardboard, spin it around so it'll be a little bit more cleaner of a surface before I start messing with the plate on it. So I'll be right back with y'all. Alright guys, so I'm here now to mount it onto the plaque. Probably going to have to be a little bit of modifications made with this one that I got with Sportsman's Guide. I like the 5-beard slot thing, but if I ever do another full fan one, I'll probably choose a different one instead of this one. So this is the next step that I'm going to do here, is take and put some super glue on the front of it and on the plaque. It's real good. And then turn it over and get it set into place as good as possible. That looks pretty center to me. So after I do that, the next thing I'm going to do is get some more and take and just feed it down through the back side of it, and then just gonna hold it in place for a little bit and let it dry up some. It should be pretty much right on where it needs to be. And the next step, this is where the issues that I'm having with this one that I got from them is that with it being on there, and the Bondo is flat enough on both sides, so that's not an issue. It's just the way they have the hole for you to hang it on the wall. It's nothing for it to slide into, so I think I'm gonna have to get some of them little plate hangers and hang back here. But the next step I'm going to do is to take and put a screw in on this side here and get it started. And And then I'm gonna get the next side started. I definitely feel like it's going to hold it into place really good with these steps. It's just I don't like, for some reason, that hole not being really where it should have been. To me, they should have put it down here somewhere more. I mean, they could have put it right here where this extra beard slot was and still left plenty of room for the middle beard. And that might be end up what I do is just cut my own slot in there for a screw to go and just hang it on the wall that way. But other than that, I mean, I like the kit that it is. I mean, it's definitely nice to have 5 slots for the beard to go. Alright, so I got that on. I'm going to let this dry up a little bit more, and then I'll be ready to turn it over and brush it and let y'all see the final product. Alright everybody, so that is the first one that I did. I didn't do as good as a job on it. To the left side, you can see the feathers not spread out good. I didn't get enough Bondo on it the first time I did it. And then there is the new one I just did, and it looks pretty flipping good to me. I think it looks really great. So there's that one. It turned out a lot better. I hope the video that I did was helpful to y'all. I don't know if it was, but I hope y'all learned something from it. And as always, like and subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications, and y'all have a good day.